Well, Black and White Network, yesterday was January 6, 2024. 3 years since the January 6 incident, which the left wants to call an insurrection. But the American people are not buying the left's lies. Yeah, of course, you got leftists out there that are still calling this an insurrection. But we have seen the video footage. There is no insurrection. None. No one involved with January 6th was ever charged with insurrection. But the mainstream media keeps pushing that lie that January 6th was an insurrection. They need that, man, because they're desperate. Their boy Joe Biden is failing. Nobody's buying into this because Donald Trump is crushing it in the polls. He is defeating the left in the polls. The American people have no confidence whatsoever in the left's Lord and Savior, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is done, man. His goose is cooked. He's finished. And of course, the left was out there yesterday talking about January 6th. People still lying, talking about police officers were killed on January 6th, when we know for a fact that no police officers were killed on January 6th. The only person that died was Ashley Babbitt. And by the way, Ashley Babbitt's, I believe her family, has now filed a lawsuit, $30 million lawsuit against the U.S. government. As of right now, that police officer who shot Ashley Babbitt, no charges came his way. None. Disgusting. But we need to talk about this this video clip that's going around of this MSNBC host. January 6th, yesterday, he had a former Capitol police officer on his show, and this man started breaking down in tears. Fake tears. I mean, he was clearly a soy boy. When I saw this, I couldn't even believe it was real. I could not believe this was real. The man grabbed the tissue, wiped his eyes. Apparently, this is all a part of the act. So, we're going to be reacting to that video in this video. First, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications, and become a channel member. Memberships to start at $5 per month. We have our member live stream every single Friday. So, here we go, guys. Right here, Fox News. MSNBC host fights back tears during January 6th segment. Quote, "I'm going to try to get through this." Really? Yeah, this is cringy, man. This is really cringy. It says here, MSNBC host Jonathan Capehart got weepy during a segment featuring a former member of the Capitol Hill Police Department who served during the January 6, 2021 storming of the U.S. Capitol. Capehart was interviewing former officer Michael Fernoni about his book, Hold the Line, that details Fernoni's experience on the day of the riot. Now, here is the video clip, guys. I gotta warn you, this is cringy. It seems fake. But let's go ahead and roll it.
I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you.
There is no tears in his eyes. This is straight out of Hollywood, guys. Straight out of Hollywood.
For what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this third anniversary.
We are still in the midst of the same fight that began on January 6th, 2021. And we have a lot at stake in this country. and I think that it deserves every American's attention.
Yeah, so you see that right there. Those tears, that's got to be some of the fakest tears I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe that I just watched that. I cannot believe that I watched that. I mean, this guy should actually win an Oscar. He really should. I mean, Hollywood is in desperate need of, actors. This man should win an Academy Award. He would get my vote because that was clearly an acting job right there. That is straight out of Hollywood. Now, we have seen the videotapes of January 6th. And by the way, Rep. Clay Higgins of Louisiana, remember he actually interviewed Christopher Wray, FBI director, and he confronted him about the number of feds in the crowd during January 6th. You guys remember this, right? Let's go ahead and watch this little part right here to refresh your memory before we get on to the next part of this video. Let's roll this.
But to the extent that there's a suggestion, for example, that the FBI's confidential human sources or FBI employees in some way instigated or orchestrated January 6th, that's categorically false.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol.
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my...
Yeah, right there. Right there. He refused to actually say if there were FBI agents in the crowd of January 6th. Now, this is actually a clip from the Tucker Carlson interview with Clay Higgins. And I've never been to the Capitol myself, but Clay Higgins lets you know a few things about the Capitol. He said in order to get around, you really got to have a guide to know where things are inside the Capitol because there's like no signs on doors and stuff like that. You need a guide. Now, I want to go over here to this segment here of Tucker's interview with Clay Higgins. This is going to shock you right here because he gives a estimate because they've been digging deep on this thing to find out about how many feds were actually involved in January 6th. And he says that you would need people to guide you around to know where to get to things inside the Capitol. And he drops a shocking number here on an estimate. He can't give you the exact number. I believe he knows the number, but apparently he can't tell us the number right now. That number is probably going to come out. Listen to this.
When you say that there were FBI assets in the crowd, in the building beforehand and certainly outside, what's the scale of this? Are you talking like 10, 20?
No. Based upon some very conservative but like hard investigative effort, evaluation of the numbers, from putting together eyewitnesses and videos and affidavit statement and whistleblower statements and court records that have been revealed through individual criminal cases where J6 defendants have been prosecuted and smart attorneys have forced admissions by the DOJ and the FBI, but those admissions have been sealed within the parameter of that criminal case by protective order by the judge, so I can't share them, but I've seen them. So real hard, objective, and conservative estimates would put the number of FBI assets in the crowd, outside, and working inside at well over 200.
200?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're in law enforcement. Yeah. Before you came to Congress in the military as well. That's an extraordinary number. Is it?
Well, no. When you think about the scope of the operation, if you were going to do this, you would need
But
that
relative
number.
to, so like when, I don't know, Minneapolis burned down, or when St. John's, the Episcopal Church across from the White House in Lafayette Square, was set ablaze, and all those Secret Service agents were injured. Were there 200 FBI assets in the crowd among Antifa then?
I'm going to stop right there, but you guys heard that right there. A conservative estimate of 200 feds in the crowd at January 6th. Leading the way, guiding Trump supporters. Actually, they were disguised as Trump supporters. Leading people, they call that entrapment, by the way. Entrapment. Leading Trump supporters to their own demise. Astonishing, man. Astonishing. And this guy on MSNBC breaking down in tears. Absolutely despicable. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.